This is a normal Nerf gun, and this is the world's fastest firing Nerf gun. Using 12 motors and 4 15-round magazines, the Hornet can unleash 60 darts in less than 1 second. So you may be asking yourself, why? Why would I build this? And that comes down to one simple reason: revenge. Earlier this month, I was minding my own business when I was attacked. My nephew and his best friend ambushed me. Unprovoked, I was shot in the face multiple times. However, it was at that moment I decided to take the high road: vengeance. This attack put me on a quest to craft the ultimate weapon, a weapon so devastating that its use would be deemed not just unsportsmanlike, but also unethical. After countless hours of research, one of the fastest and most compact Nerf blasters available today is the 3D printed blaster known as the Lepus. While the Lepus is a very fast blaster, I needed something even faster. But this is where things get tricky. You see, normal Nerf darts start to tear themselves apart and have issues feeding darts properly at super fast RPMs. For reference, each Nerf Lepus is running at 3000 RPM. So in order to get around this physical limitation, I took a page from the Metal Storm weapon system, which utilizes 36 barrels to fire simultaneously to achieve a rate of fire of over 1 million rounds per minute. Armed with this information that more barrels equal more bullets, I just had to figure out a way to combine all of these guns into one. After extensive research, I stumbled upon the American Chris Vector and British Sten submachine gun. These seemed like the perfect candidates for my project. The British Sten has a unique design where the magazines come out the side of the gun. This will allow me to stack magazines on top of each other without getting in the way. 2 on the left and 2 on the right. The Chris Vector design was also a good candidate, as it allowed me to house all of my electronics in the body of the blaster, where normally the Chris Vector's internal recoil system would be located. After designing the gun in CAD, I started printing and assembling my blaster. I'd like to thank Bamboo Labs for providing the X1 Carbon 3D printer for this project. All of the parts were printed with their machine. Once all of the parts were printed, the only thing left to do was assemble everything. The foundation of this design is built on the Lepus platform, so the first thing I need to do is make 4 Lepus blasters. Once I build those, I can wire them all together to fire off one trigger pull. And while this design does seem pretty straightforward and simple, I did run into a few design issues that I had to fix as I went through this process. When I bought this Lepus kit, it came with these little tiny momentary switches that weren't rated for firing 4 Lepuses at once. And I should have known better, but I wasn't thinking, so anyhow, when I went to test fire this for the first time, you'll hear the motors rev up and stop. This is because the momentary switch wasn't rated for how much current was going through the system. So after a brief trip to the hardware store, I was able to pick up a 3 amp momentary switch that is more than enough for this project. After carefully installing the new switch, I was able to proceed with the test fire. With the first test out of the way, let's go for a Guinness World Record. For this first test, I'm firing 40 darts. And in case you didn't catch that, we fired all 40 darts in less than 1 second, which when you do the math comes to roughly 2,560 darts per minute. Now let's go see what the current world record is. And it looks like the current world record is only 684 darts per minute. With a new Guinness World Record under my belt, let's go on to the field test. So this is how it works. You flip these power switches on the right side of the gun, and when they're all flipped, all the motors are armed and ready to use. So to fire, you're gonna push this button right down here, which spins up the motors, and the trigger activates the pusher motor, which fires the gun. With field trials complete, there's only one thing left to do: revenge.
If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm working on an even crazier build next month, so keep an eye out for that. And I'll see you guys next time.